He said, come on. That's right. Come on. You thought it was me. No, not us. No. Greater is he. That's right. Turn them frowns upside down. Buffering. That's right. Oh, buffering. Come on. Yes. Loving me. That's right. Oh, I do not care if your world don't love me. It's buffering. Suffering, and some learning. It's buffering, drowning, no more drowning in dysfunctioning. Yeah, I decrease. That's right. As Yasha increase, standing with Yasha, not on my 2 feet. Hey, Sarah. I know you watching me. Hey, Sarah. He directs me. Hey, Sarah. He's renewing me. How you been? I'm gonna show you what time it is. I'm gonna show you what time it is. I'm gonna show you his strength. Greater is he. Lives in me. Hey. Though you thought. You could stone me. It's buffering. Hey. That's right. Wash my feet. Wash my tears. Wash my tears. You thought we was weak. But it's buffering. It's buffering. It's learning. It's teaching. It's exposing. It's learning. That's right. You thought it was we. No, not me. Greater is he. Lives in me. Greater is he. Lives in me. That I hate of this world. That I hate in this world. Tell them to frown upside down. That's right. If the world hates me, it's buffering, suffering. What's up, bro? Grand Rising for sure. Yes, welcome. Flexing in the face of these demons. That's right, bro. I decrease. Yasha must increase. Standing. Yasha, not on my 2 feet. He's molding me. He's guiding me. Teaching me. Restoring me. Restoring me. Show him what time it is. Show him his strength. Show him what time it is. Show you his strength. Yep. Show him what time it is. Show him his strength. Greater is he. Who lives in us. Yeah, they mad. But oh well. Yeah, they reporting. We gon' sing. Greater is he. Who lives in me. Molding me. Shaping me. It's my story. Why you mad? It's our story. Why you sad? Fix that frown. Turn it upside down. It's our story. No more drowning in dysfunctioning. I'm learning. Show 'em what time it is. Show 'em what time it is. I ain't scared. No, it's you. Reporting moves. It's okay. Greater is he. Lives in me. You thought I was weak. No, not me. Shield of faith. You quench them things. The shield of faith. You quench that hate. Sword of his truth is cut in you. Oh, that's right. That's right. What they gonna do? What they gonna do? That's right. That's right. With that fire. With that fire. What they gonna do? Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. Stop hating. Get your heart right. Greater is he. Lives in me. Lives in me. You thought it was a weed. But no, not me. Greater is he. Lives in me. It's buffering. Thank you. It's buffering. It's buffering. I decrease. Even now, Yasha must increase. That's right. That's right. Increasing his word. That's right. Go ahead, Zebby. Yeah. Bless this heart. He's directing me. He's renewing me. He restored me. Yeah. I'm gonna show you what time it is. Show you what time it is. We can show you what time. I'm gonna show you his strength. We can show you his strength. We can show you his strength. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You better get on your face. You better get on your face. Stop being a bully. Stop being a bully. Stop telling slack. Stop backbiting. Stop backbiting. You better get yourself right. You better get the blocks out. That's right. That's right. Eyes. Keep your mouth off your brothers. Keep your mouth off your sisters. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Greater is he. Greater is he. Lives in me. Greater is he. It's my story. It's my story. It's my story. It's my story. Okay, we had to take that back really quick, family. Greetings and salutations to my brothers and sisters. It is the first day of the week. I hope and pray that you all are doing swell and wonderful so far. I really, truly am grateful for another blessed day that Allah has given me. My Father, which is in heaven, his will be done on this earth. I pray you are seeking and walking in righteousness and the fruits of the Spirit, because the vultures is out here crazy, family. So I started this rising with Joshua 1 went to I think 6. We're gonna do 7 on down. Okay. It's actually 8. We're gonna do 8 on down. And just wanting to, through the word of the Most High, encourage the brother and his sister in the times that we are in. And also for beloved sister Maya, the Most High wanted me to let you know, sister, you when you get filled with his spirit, he's gonna direct you. He's gonna lead and guide you. And in any of your worries, concerns, or any doubts or anything far as his feast days. Okay. Not only that, but remember, if this can make any sense to you all, we are literally in prophetic times that the Most High is taking charge and shifting things. So already people are doing the Feast of Tabernacles differently and off, not like everybody's not on the same thing. And he's not punishing us for that. He's basically judging us in the best we can. Some people are like, oh, we have to do this calendar, don't do that calendar. You don't want to acknowledge the Most High's calendar when it comes to feast days, but you're acknowledging it for other things, whatever. So bottom line, being in spirit, it just helps you with everything. It gives you understanding in his word. It gives you direction and guidance. He gives you, even just with small stuff, like you can be here and go to a gas station and there'd be something wrong with that pump. He was like, don't go to that pump. Like, I'm telling you, like, we cannot do anything without the Father's Spirit, okay? Even when we did the Feast of Tabernacles, he told me to put the tent up the day before I actually got confirmation from somebody to say to do it, right? So, beloved, trust and believe me, the Most High is going to direct and guide you in that. Do not fret, do not fear. As long as you stay in his spirit, he's going to guide you. Right now, it's like we're being under the cloud of the Most High. It's important, okay? So, let me, hey, Sabadiah. Sweetie. Hey, sweetie, you just wake up? You just wake up, the sweetie? Oh, lady. Stop looking my baby in his face. She just want to give some kisses and stuff. I started to open. Yeah, I wanted to open another window. That's what I wanted to do because after all that dancing got me a little hot. Ew. Thought we were weed. Nope. All right. So let's get into this word. We're going to be in Joshua chapter 8 and going on. All right. Going further as the Father tells, when the Father tells me to stop. And if there's any scriptures that through the Spirit you guys want to share or most I put in your heart, certainly put them up. And we can do that. We can build, share, and chime. If you have any testimony or praise report or any questions or anything like that, those are preferably would be preferred towards the end. I'm gonna do also a better job at staying on task. I've been beating myself up with it. Stay on task. So, and I want to do less communication of myself. I don't care if it's testimony. I just want to be less of me. Less of me. All right. So Joshua 8, all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High in the name of Yeshua. When we must do everything in acknowledgement to him. Okay. The great I am. Somebody knows as a height it would be the great I am. And Yeshua is my savior, but Yasha is savior. All right. Verse 1 of Joshua 8. And Ahiah said unto Joshua, fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee and arise. Go up, Go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai and his people and his city and his land. And thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou hast did unto Jericho. Ooh. I want to see if that's a deity really quick. Ai. Because he said her king. Hold on. Ai. I'm gonna put who is Ai of Jericho? Said not Jericho. Well, he said, yeah, Jericho. But it was me. Okay, of course, we have, Caucasian images. I thought it was like a deity. I was trying to see if there was a deity that they worshipped or something like that. Okay, moving along. Okay, which is beside Beth-haven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. Okay, so Ai is the name of the place. All right. And they returned to Joshua and said unto him, let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, for they chased from them from before the gate, even unto Sherebraim. What do you have in your mouth, lady? Okay, slinky. All right. And smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of Ahiah unto the eventide, and he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, alas, O Most High Ahiah, wherefore have you at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us? Which to a husbandman we had been content and dwelt on the other side Jordan? O Ahiah, what shall I say? when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies. For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us round, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? And Ahiah said unto Joshua, Get thee up. Wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel have sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also. And they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore, the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. For thus saith Ahiah, the husbandman Ishmael of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou canst not stand before thine enemies until ye take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which Ahiah taketh shall come according to the families thereof. And the family which Ahiah shall take shall come by households, and the household which Ahiah shall take shall come by man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire. So that's how confirmation. So the Most High likes to burn the accursed things with fire. No wonder that he didn't want us to just throw it in the trash. Wow. Stay focused, stay focused. And he brought the family of Judah and took the family of the Zarahites. And he brought the family of the Zarahite man by man. And Zabdi was taken. Taken. See, listen, family. Taken is not a good thing. Hey, Christians. You better pay attention. I want to highlight that. I want to write on side notes places where taken is not good and mentioned in the Bible is not good. So the first place would be the ark. Noah and the ark. So all the people was taken by the flood. And then secondly, in the times of Joshua, chapter 7, verse 17. All right. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, My son, give, I pray thee, glory to Ahiah, the husbandman of Israel, and make confession unto him. And tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. He was like, glory to the Most High. Oh, yes, we got the rat. Woo, child, we got the rat. And Joshua said, okay, verse 20. And Achan answered Joshua and said, Indeed, I have sinned against Ahiah, the husbandman Ishi of Israel. Okay, the keeper of Israel. And thus, and this, and that have I done. So he basically was like, so I did this and I did that, blah, blah. When I saw among the spoils of goodly Babylonianish garment and 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth, in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. There's something that someone had mentioned about this silver cord or binding. When you're dealing with sorcery, witchcraft, people put spells on you, stuff like that. Hold on, let me get that real quick. Because as soon as I read it, it just brought it to my mind. Because some people be saying stuff that could be all the way off. Okay. What does the Bible say about the silver cord? Okay, Ecclesiastes 12:6. The Bible talks about a silver cord. The Bible tells us that the silver cord means how we should. Let me get it. Ecclesiastes 12:6. Bear with me. Ecclesiastes 12:6. Yes, I pray. I'm finna get to the bottom line. It's gotta be somewhere like around. Right before song, then. What you telling me, Father? Stay focused. All right. Don't worry about that. Carry on. Stay focused. No, so I said I want to stay focused. Other little stuff tries to make me go off task. I really got to focus on that. I really got to work on that. Some things are worth going off to prove, some things are not. These are 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold, 50 shekels. Wait, I read that. Verse 22. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent. And behold, it was hid in his tent, and silver under it. They was not playing. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out for Ahiah. Whew, this is why I was thanking the Most High when he told me in prayer, pardon and cleared. Y'all don't even know. I don't give a John Brown. I don't care. You got to thank the Most High. Lady. Girl. You're doing the most. Hashtag it, mama. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons and his daughter. He was just an idolater. He was vain. And his oxen, his asses, and all his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had. And they brought them into the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? Ahiah shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. See there, family? People ought to be glad we on the grace. Sure, I better be glad we on the grace. Shoot, while I'm talking. Shoot. Honestly, if we were in those times of stoning, it probably would have been less sin. But then again, they still wasn't afraid. You think about everybody throwing stones at you. They wasn't just like skipping rocks. They throwing stones at you like, you gonna bring some trouble to our camp. Them joints was hard. Because we had strong people. We still have strong people. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So Ahiah turned from the fierceness of his anger. Wherefore the name of that place is called the Valley of Achor unto this day. And Ahiah, wait a minute, didn't he say his family too went with him? Yeah, all he had. Chapter 8. And Ahiah said unto Joshua, fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee, and arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai, and his people, and his city, and his land. Family, what you think this means, family? When he said he gonna wake us up amongst these nations, right? Just put this in your mind. And he told Abraham, look to the north, south, east, and west, and everything that you see will be yours, right? Suppose you're the only righteous person in your area. Don't them wicked people got to be destroyed? Then who gonna take that land then? Who gonna be a possessor of that land? That's right, the righteous, right? But see, this land's gonna be destroyed by fire. See, that's the difference. We ain't gonna be here. See, it's so abominable it ain't just the bloodshed of our ancestors and the continual oppression, lying, thieving, and stuff like that, but it's the high magnitude of the sodomy that's going on too. You know, like say if you put something on TV, bear with me, family. I just want to say this. Say you put something on the television, or like I don't watch television, I watch YouTube on TV, where I put like a nice little scenery on, read my word, or just chill. And if you don't watch it for a while, it'll click back onto your TV, right? And those, when my husband was here, he would watch the House Builder People show. And these two guys are twin brothers would do the show, like cleaning the house. And one of them, I just was suspected as he was a homosexual. And today, it like more than it normally would, kept clicking it on. And the homosexual had another guy in the house watching him while he was fixing the house. And I'm just like, what is the necessary need for this sodomy one? Like, he ain't fixing no house. Like, what is he on here for? What, they want more views? Like, what do they want? Like, ratings or something? Because it's a gay guy in there? Like, this is so stupid. So stupid. I hate America. Hate this place. And he can, man, don't worry. My father will put us in place where we want. You know, a lot of those Americans be like, well, go back where you came from. Shut your mouth. You need to go back where you came from. And that's the clefts of the rocks. All right. Verse 3. And Joshua arose and all the people of war to go up against Ai. And Joshua chose out of 30,000 men of valor, and he sent them away by night. And he commanded them, saying, behold, ye shall lie in wait against the city, even behind the city. Go not very far from the city, but be ye all ready. So that y'all can go take care of your needs. You got to do something, whatever have you. Don't go too far. So if I blow that shofar, y'all can hear me. If I send an alarm, you know what I mean? Most likely, our people always use the shofars for alarm. It was for war. It was for a time for feasting, celebration, whatever have you made. It was just our means of hear ye, hear ye. All right, verse 5. And I and all the people that are with me will approach unto the city, and it shall come to pass when they come out against us, as in the first, that we will flee before them. For they will come out after us, till we have drawn them from the city. For they will say, they flee before us at the first, therefore we will flee before them. Then ye shall rise up from the ambush and seize upon the city. Oh, come on. For Ahijah, your Ishiohim, will deliver into your hand. So you want to know where America got their tactics from and their ideas on how to conquer and fight? By taking our books of war. Even in the book of Jasher. In the book of Jasher is plenty of tactics in war, things like that. Because they are crafty to make a weapon and kill because they're subtle. But the Most High gave us wisdom too. We're not idiots, yo. We're not dumb. All right, we got ideas, and so they would think by taking our books that they could get like the secret of the Most High, like just like they try to make it seem like Jacob stole the blessing and everything. When they would conquer us and take our Bible, they thought they was going to be able to take it back. That was what the reason for every time they were sieging us. They're like, surely we missed something, or oh, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. Like, maybe we can do something, but the Most High from the womb rejected y'all. From the womb. All right? So you can take a deep breath now and stop hating us because he hated you from the womb. I know. It's all over now. You can give up. Verse 8, rather. And it shall be, when ye have taken the city, that ye shall set the city on fire. According to the commandment of Ahijah shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush, and abode between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. And Joshua rose up early in the morning, and numbered the people, and went up, he and his elders of Israel, before the people to Ai. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh, and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between them and Ai. He took He took about 5,000 men and set them to lie in ambush between Bethel and Ai on the west side of the city. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liers in wait on the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that they hastened and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people, at a time appointed before the plain. But he wist not that, oh, I know you're under me, that there were liars in ambush against him behind the city. Wist not, he didn't know, wist not. And Joshua and all Israel made as if they were beaten before them. So they act like they was conquered, like, oh no. All right. And when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, was that where I was at? Their liars and wait in the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, he hastened up and rose early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle. I read that. Right. 16. And all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. And they pursued after Joshua and were drawn away from the city. And there was not a man left in Ai or Bethel that went not after Israel. And they left the city open and pursued after Israel. And Ahiah said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand. And they entered into the city and took it, and hastened and set the city on fire. And the men of Ai looked behind them. They saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended into heaven. And they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And when Joshua and all of Israel saw the ambush had taken the city, that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. And the other issued out of the city against them. So they were in the midst of Israel, some on this side and some on that side. And they smote them, so that they let none of them remain or escape. And the king of Ai took alive, and brought him to Joshua. And it came to pass, when Israel had made an end of slaying all the inhabitants of Ai in the field, in the wilderness, wherein they chased them, and when they were all fallen on the edge of the sword, until they were consumed, that all the Israelites returned unto Ai, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And so it was that all that fell that day, both of men and women, were 12,000, even all the men of Ai. For Joshua drew not his hand back, wherewith he stretched out the spear, until he had utterly destroyed all the inhabitants of Ai. Only the cattle and the spoil of that city Israel took for a prey unto themselves, according to the word of Ahiah, which he commanded Joshua. And Joshua burnt Ai, and made it a heap forever, even a desolation unto this day. Just want to start for a round of applause for that. Round of applause for that. And the king of Ai, he hanged on a tree until eventide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree and cast it into the entering of the gate of the city, and raise thereon a great heap of stones that remaineth unto this day. Bury your behind some stones. Then Joshua built an altar unto Ahiah, Ishohim of Israel, the husbandman of the upright, and Mount Ebal. He is the husbandman of the upright, but in this time our people are called Israel. We understand Jacob was renamed by coonerization actions. The Most High did not approve him. The Most High did not name him that. Like I said earlier this rising, I'll say again, whenever a messenger of the Most High ever came to the people, they would always say, take your shoes off. The place where you stand is holy ground. And if not that, they would ask for the person would do an altar. It's like we got to be able to read through the Most High's word and discern. But even if it doesn't say all that, Know the Father's character. Would he have said that? Would he have not said that? Because the tempter and the deceiver always is contrary to the Most High's word. And now it makes sense why you see through Isaiah and other places like Deuteronomy, the Most High saying to Jacob, you know, you went away from me, you got fat, you forgot about me, things like that. And majority of the time when our ancestors, like I said in Deuteronomy, take heed to yourself, Deuteronomy 30, to yourselves lest you forget, or 29, that when you become in the land, that you don't forget the Most High, you know? Then Joshua, built an altar unto Ahiah, the keeper of the upright, in Mount Ebal. As Moses, the servant of Ahiah, commanded the children of Israel, as it was written in the book of the Torah law of Moses, an altar of whole stones. That's another thing. The Most High does not like hewn stone. You don't want his altar to be a hewn stone. It can't be broken. You would think, well, how do you make one? Whole stones. I'm just telling you. Over which no man hath lifted up any iron. Yeah, there it goes. And they offered thereon burnt offerings unto Ahiah and sacrificed peace offerings. So no man could ever take an iron thing to it and chip it. Like if you pick up a stone and it's like a piece, whatever, together, then so be it. But man can't have had cut it to be organized. It can't been torn by man. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the Torah law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. So, wow, that's beautiful. Even to this day, I'd be wondering if that little plat that I left for the Torah, if it's still there. I mean, the commandments. We left a wooden slat of the commandments at the Harriet Tubman location. And me and Zion, I took the ground and I made a nice little space and I put it down in there. Like, you know, when you go to a parking lot, like the beach, and they have those little wooden little things with the little ropes in between. Well, at the one in the middle, I put the commandment right there. There ain't nobody but the children. Who you working at? Like somebody allowed to walk in here. It's okay. It's all right, lady. All right. It's all right. And verse 33, and all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on the side of the ark. Stood on this side, the ark on that side, before the priests, the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of Ahiah, as well the stranger as he that was born among them, half of them over against Mount Gezerim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of Ahiah, had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. Y'all know it's killing me to say that. Ugh. And afterward he read all the words of the Torah law, the blessings and cursings according to all that is written in the book of the law. So it's like our people always, we would would re-speak the blessing and curse, which is what you would say Deuteronomy 28, because if you could keep reading that, we would hope to put some fear in the generations to not disobey. But of course, Moses told them, you're going to go on the ship. You're not going to listen. Here we are today. But all praise to the Most High. He ain't forsaken us, and he definitely keeping his word. 34, and afterward he read all the words of Torah law, the blessing and the cursing. Okay, right there, verse 35. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded, which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel, with the woman and the little ones and the strangers that were conversant among them. Joshua 9. And it came to pass, when all the kings which were on the side of Jordan, in the hills, and in the valleys, and in all the coasts of the great sea, over against Lebanon, the Hittite and the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jeshubite, heard thereof, that they gathered themselves together to fight with Joshua and with Israel with one accord. And when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard that Joshua had done unto Jericho and unto Ai, They did work willily, and went and made as they if they had ambassadors, and took old sacks upon their asses, and wine bottles old and rent and bound up, and shoes and clouded upon their feet, old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy. And they went to Joshua unto the camp at Gilgal, and said unto him, and to the men of Israel, We be come from a far country. Now therefore make a league with us. You gotta laugh. Trying to trick somebody. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, Peradventure ye dwell amongst us. How shall we make a league with you? And they said unto him, For a very far country thy servants are come because of the name of Ahiah, thy husbandman, for we have heard the fame of him, and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two kings of the Amorites that were beyond Jordan, to Sihon the king of Heshbon, and Og and the king of Bashan, and which was at Ashtaroth. I want to look that place up right now. Hold on. The king of Og. The Most High told me a long time ago to research that king. The king of Og. Okay, hold on. Wait. Og, the king of Bashan. Okay, so let's look up the king of Bashan, which was at Ashtaroth. Let me see what that is. Ashtarot. Oh, it says Ashtaroth goddess. Let me look location. Was a city in the land of Bashan, east of Jordan River. Okay, east of Jordan River. Okay. So it's a location, and they got it as a goddess? Oh my gosh, that thing is so ugly. Ooh, that thing is ugly. Get that off the phone. In the mighty name. I ain't scared of that stuff. I just don't be liking to look at that kind of stuff. Because I'm thinking, well, yeah, that's because the scripture said that they steal the land and name them after them. So if like we come in the name of the Most High, and that's the deity they worship, well, it would make sense that they would name their places after that, you know? Verse 11. Wherefore our elders and all the inhabitants of our country spake to us, saying, Take victuals with you for the journey, and go to meet them, and say unto them, We are your servants. Therefore, now make ye a league with us. Now make a league with us. Who said you was our servants? And first of all, let me go to my father on that. You made that up. Just because you come here looking like a bum in a ragamuffin, talking about something, you my servant. Yeah, okay. You cute. Verse 12. This our bread we took hot for our provision out of our houses on this day we came forth to go unto you. But now, behold, it is dry, and it is moldily. And these bottles of wine which we filled were new, and behold, they be rent. And these our garments and our shoes are become old by reason of a very long journey. Did the Most High say, hey, I'm going to send some service unto you, and they're going to be wanting to receive them? No, the Most High ain't saying nothing about that. Let's see what happened here, y'all family. And the men took of their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth. Oh, crap. See? Dang, Joshua, dang. Listen, when you get rid of your cursed thing, the enemy has a good job trying to redecorate it and bring it right back in. It's like the unclean spirit when you get it out. He be seeking rest. Just like the dead people when they're not going to the kingdom, their spirits be trying to seek rest, wandering. That's what the unclean spirits probably be. Dead spirits trying to find themselves somebody's home and habitation in a living being. Trying to manifest. Y'all. I can't believe it. And Joshua made peace with them. Oh, Joshua. And made a league with them to let them live. Gosh. This is why Abba had us yesterday remind me to say we got to denounce any leagues, allegiances, agreements, confessions, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff that we did in Christianity, that our family could have did with our names. Oh my God. Do you see people like, what you got to pray 3 times a day for? Can't you see? Take your pick. Because unbeknownst to you, somebody could be praying against you. So right now, in the mighty name of Yeshua, I pray right now against my ignorant parents, probably talking about, Lord Jesus, please help my baby. Father, please cancel them stupid prayers. I will shut their mouth up. Let them know what time it is. Cancel any birthday wishes that my dad posts my picture on the Facebook, that dumb stuff. Father, please, we ask that you will have our ancestors' curses be released from us in the mighty name of Yeshua. We thank you, Father, for giving us light on these kind of matters. We repent for any agreements we have, covenants we have formed. What else? Allegiances, covenants, agreements, oaths, bonds, loans, anything we've done out of your approval, Father. In the name of Yeshua, so be it. And Joshua made peace with them and made a league with them to let them live. And the princes of the congregation swear unto them. And it came to pass in the end of the 3 days after they had made a league with them that they had heard that they were their neighbors, that they dwelt among them. And the children of Israel journeyed and came unto their cities on the 3rd day. Now their cities were Gibeon and Chephirah. This is the people from Dagon, Azeroth. Dang. And Beeroth and Kitcherum. And the children of Israel smote them not, because the princes of the congregation had sworn unto them by Ahiah, the husbandman. How you going to swear by the Most High and don't even get his approval? Sickening. Of Israel. And all the congregation murmured against the princes. They were vexed. I'm vexed reading this. Yuck. Yuck. They had a horrible party last night. Trash. But all the princes said unto the congregation, we have sworn unto them by Ahiah, Ishuim of Israel. Now therefore we may not touch them. This we will do to them. We will even let them live, lest wrath be upon us, because of the oath which we were swearing. So what? Mosai didn't approve that. So what? It was your word. And the princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation, as the princes had promised them. And Joshua called for them. They messing with your wood and your water. My. Hopefully they don't poison it. And Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are very far from you when ye dwell among us. Now therefore you are cursed. That part. That way. Now you're talking, Joshua. Come on. Come on. Wake up. Crying out loud. And there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen. Uh-oh. Got him. And hewers of wood and drawers of water from this house of the Most High. And they answered Joshua and said, because it was certainly told thy servants how that Ahiah thy Ishuim, your keeper, commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and destroy it. So I don't care. I ain't asked you that. Shut your mouth up. Shouldn't have came over here trying to beguile somebody. No, we got him. Commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land and destroy all the inhabitants of the land from before you. Therefore, we were sore afraid for our lives because of you and have done this thing. Shut up. You should have learned about Rahab. Did you hear about Rahab? And now, behold, we are in thine hand, as it seemeth good and right unto thee. Do unto us, do. And so he did unto them, and delivered them out of the hand of the children of Israel, and they that slew them not. You ought to be. And Joshua made them that day hewers of wood and drawers of water for the congregation and for the altar of Ahiah, even unto this day, in the place which he should choose. Some people probably biologically gonna be servants by this very oath with Joshua. Then you know somebody be like, I ain't down here, I ain't serving you. Well, you must want to die then. Because you got to do what you was made to do. Some people you're made to be, like you nations are made to be the Most High's children's servants. That's what he made y'all for. And I know that it may seem strange and seem unfair, but if he told Abraham his children would be as the stars of the sea, stars of the sky, and sand of the sea, that means he needs a lot of servants, you know? So it would be great for you to be honored to be able to serve rather than be put to death. I just gotta keep it a buck though, because it is what it is, all right? But see, it's only gonna be a righteous remnant to get out. So count it all joy. Majority of all the nation's gonna die. Now it came to pass when Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai. A king of Jerusalem. So you mean to tell there was a king and there was a place called Jerusalem? And our people wasn't from there? Wait a minute. Now it came to pass when Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and utterly destroyed it as he had done to Jericho and her king. So he had done to Ai and her king. Notice it's saying her. They had women rulers over them, or entities, or women deities. And how the inhabitants of Gibeon, I even think with the Muslims, they feel if they kill somebody, they're going to get about a lot of virgins when they go to a certain place. So you're like killing for like, for a woman or something? Like, that's retarded. So he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that they feared greatly because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty. Wherefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, unto Pizram, king of Jarmuth, and these names sound familiar, and unto Japhia, king of Lachish, and unto Debri, king of Eglon, saying, Come up unto me, and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for he hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. So far from what I'm reading, there is no place that they can place or a language that they can actually identify our people by, because we started off as a nation of pilgrims. The earth was not in our possession. We were supposed to take over the places and then be able to take domain, but we never completed that. Let's see. But there's times when David came, right? Times of David, city of David and stuff. Guess that's further down. Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, didn't we have a place where we was in Jerusalem? Because something's going on. All right. Let's carry on. Therefore, the 5 kings of the Amorites and the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, and the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon gathered themselves together and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon and made war against it. Y'all, I think this is my favorite chapter. I think it's coming up. Woo! Verse 6, and the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp of Gilgal, saying, slack not thy hand from thy servants. Come up to us quickly and save us. Help us, for all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And Ahiah said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night. And Ahiah discomforted them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Bethhoron, and smote them to Azekah, I guess, and unto Medekah. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Bethhoron, that Ahiah cast down great stones from heaven upon them. Whoa! Unto heaven. Come on, Father. And they died. Get it? They were more, all praise to the Most High. That's right. For they were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. Then spake Joshua to Ahiah in the day when Ahiah delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. This, as I even read about it, it increases my faith to trust in the Most High and not fear nothing or nobody. And he said in the sight of Israel, sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Agalon. Now, where is Joshua's faith at this point? For him to even say, sun, stand thou still. He understood that the creation obeys the Most High's commandments. But Adam had dominion over the creation when he was in favor with the Most High. So when you have favor with the Most High, just like Yasha, you can speak to creation and it obey you. Y'all better come on. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hastened not to go down about a whole day. You gotta come on, Father. I'm gonna highlight that. Okay. Come on in this building. And there was no day like that before, or it after it, that Ahiah hearkened unto the voice of a man. For Ahiah fought for Israel. Come on, Most High. I love you, Most High. And Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, unto the camp to Gilgal. But these 5 kings fled, and hid themselves in a cave at Medekah. And it was told Joshua, and Joshua, 17. And it was told Joshua, saying, the 5 kings are found hidden in a cave at Medekah. And Joshua said, roll great stones upon the mouth of the caves, and set men by it for to keep them. Yeah, you're gonna starve out. And stay ye not, but pursue after your enemies, and smite the hindmost of them. Suffer them not to enter into their cities, for Ahiah your Ishiohim keeper have delivered them into your hand. And it came to pass, when Joshua and all the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, that the rest which remained of them entered into fenced cities. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Medekah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then said Joshua, open the mouth of the cave, and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave. The king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, and the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of men of war, which went with him, come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. Yes. And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them. And Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, for thus shall Ahiah do to your enemies against whom ye fight. Strong, fearless, courageous, fearless. Come on. Strong, courageous, fearless. That's right. All right. And Joshua said, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage. For thus shall Ahiah do to all your enemies against whom ye fight. And afterward Joshua smote them and slew them and hanged. This is giving me some idea. In the spirit, we want to say, Father, we want to put our feet on the necks of our enemies, that they do not even rise up, O Most High. And if it be your will, physically, then so be it. In the mighty name of Yeshua. I'm talking about seen and unseen enemies, O Most High. We come before you and pray that you put our feet on their necks, right on that jugular part, for they can't move, they can't swallow. And afterward Joshua smote them and slew them and hanged them on 5 trees, and they were hanging upon the trees until the evening. Come on. And it came to pass at the time of the going down of the sun that Joshua commanded that they took them down off the trees and cast them into the cave wherein they had been hid, and laid great stones in the cave's mouth, which remain unto this very day. Come on. And that day Joshua took Mattacah and smote it with the edge of the sword. And the king thereof, he utterly destroyed them, and all the souls that were therein, and let none remain. And he did to the king of Mattacah as he did unto the king of Jericho. Then Joshua passed from Mattacah, and all Israel with him, unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah. And Ahiah delivered it also in the king thereof, all into the hand of Israel, and he smote it with the edge of the sword. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, because as I'm reading this, when it's reminding me of the dream that I had yesterday. I'm in the company of like a caravan of the elders. They were all in white, and here comes another caravan, or like you would say, limousine company of the government. And I looked at them like, and he had a nasty driver. He stuck his nasty tongue at me, trying to taunt me, and I cursed him. And that night, before I said curse him, Most High showed me that Isaiah 30. Talking about woe to those who trust in Egypt. So in other words, we're trusting in the government, because if you get in, that's why I ain't worried. That's why I ain't worried about nobody's pensions. I ain't worried about nobody's. I ain't got nothing to worry about, because see, I've been living by faith. Though my husband's been my means of substantiation in this realm, a woman is bound to a husband so long as he liveth. And that means if I'm born again and you're not born again, then the Most High is my husband. And so he's my keeper, the great I am. Like, I'm not even worried, because after we read that lesson last night, about the money when they try to tempt Yahshua, he said, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That has been sticking with me. It's like, Father, I don't even want no coins. Like, I'm about to be like this one chick that she collect coins, about to be like, Father, should I just give it to her? And like, I really show you, Father, I ain't playing. I'll show you I'm trusting you. Listen, they can take all this. Like, get this bread, get this money. It's got graven images on it. I don't want it. Father, now you know I ain't got nothing, Father. What you gonna do? Now shut up. You know what I'm saying, family? Who down? Who willing to trust the Most High like that, though? Hadassah tripping. No, Hadassah's not tripping. Hadassah's definitely not tripping. We need money to get by. No, we don't. Y'all better know this currency about to drop anyway. They finna usher the new currency in anyway. So who about it? You better be about it. If you ain't about it, prepare your heart now. Prepare your heart now to get about it and live according to the Most High. For he said, the just shall live by faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. I ain't trying to make nobody feel like, man, this girl going off. She's scared. Trust me, y'all. Trust me. My whole life been this. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Believe me when I tell you. Even when I had jobs, it wasn't even the jobs that was keeping me. Y'all better know the Most High is beyond currency. That stuff is a curse, man. Oh, then Joshua passed from Makeda. Not only that, we just got a whole bunch of food in here without no money. And all Israel with him unto Libnah, and fought against Libnah. And Ahiah delivered it also, the king thereof, into the hand of Israel, and he smote it with the edge of the sword. And all the souls that were therein, he let none remain in it, but unto the king thereof, as he did unto the king of Jericho. And Joshua passed from Libnah, and all Israel with him, unto Lachish, and encamped against it, and fought against it. And Ahiah delivered Lachish into the hand of Israel, which took on the second day, and smote it with the edge of the sword. And all the souls that were therein. Oh, I know which one was my favorite. When Moses was still alive and Joshua was in his prime, they was fighting, and every time it was the Amorites, no, Amalekites, and every time Moses' hand was lifted, we was overcome. But when Moses got tired, they would win. So that goes to show you that out of majority of the tribes, the Amalekites, they like to wear us out. Like, how do they do it? I just recently heard that when they were considering to do the Harriet Tubman movie, that they was actually considering Julia Roberts. What? Julia Roberts? Not only is she white, but she looks like a dog. Like, she looks like a bony-faced dog white woman. Like, this is the problem, that we can't have history, or our stories can't be told without their funny looking faces on it. If you type in on Harriet Tubman in our history and stuff, you know how many people or how many videos you'll see of Caucasians with their face on there? Surely her family somewhere on this earth, that y'all can allow her family to leave that heritage to her, and allow their family to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was vexed when I went to the location and I couldn't just go to the memorial in peace without them pulling up. Like, what are y'all coming over here for? Y'all know doggone well y'all don't care about somebody who was a patriarch to us, but a rebel to y'all. In the midst of their communities, like, y'all know where I live at? That's where the place is at. It's right in the heart of their area, with a bunch of Trump flags flagging around. So you know they don't care about that. Y'all could have kindly, but you know where they chose to let that memorial be also. And I feel this was the Most High that made it be that way, because it was a mile up from the store where she got her head hit. You know the saying that says, all things work together good? Not saying, but in the word Romans 8:28, where all things work together for good of those that love him, are called according to the purpose. So she was called. I believe even though if she didn't get her head hit, I know the Most High would have still, spoke with her. But the Most High is so secretive at times with things, that even though people may think you're crazy or whatever, he'd rather them just think that. And they probably thought, oh, she just having one of them spells. Because if they would have knew she was having encounters with the Most High, them devils would have tried to stop it. Because when I was sitting there on the ground with the word, I asked the children, bring me this book. This doesn't look like no average Bible. So when the children brought me this book and I'm sitting there, mind y'all, if I can explain this, okay. Let me try to show y'all something. So you see that little sign that has the date on there? The Harriet Tubman thing? It's a sign like this. Then there's that one flat thing where I did the recording of the video where you can see Harriet Tubman's picture and you can get information. It's like a face view. But there's a big sign that's navy blue with silver that it's like, oh, let me show y'all. Hold on. So I need y'all to understand what I'm saying really quick. Oh my gosh, Father, why is that still on here? Get that thing off here. Harriet Tubman John. That ain't it. They done made a whole graven image, John, y'all. That's not cool. Okay, there we go. Ooh, Father. Okay. Okay. Back. Thank you, Father. All right. You see this here? In my vision, this is what the Most High showed me and said, you got to get to this place. All right. So this is the sign that is actually facing the road, the cornfield. Just like if I was to show you my camera right out here. Look, see, field. See that? Field. Okay. Now the lady cut the grass the other day, so ain't no corns. And plus, our corns ain't doing no good anyhow. Moving right along. The sign actually had to fade. It was this sign was actually facing this way. Okay, it was facing this direction, and the other little sign thing was like next to it. I chose the most. I just, for some reason, I felt to be on the left. Normally, I'm a right-handed type of person. I'm a right-hand side thing with the most side. So I'm on the right-hand side, no, the left-hand side, on my knees, and I told my babies or the children, I said, bring me the Bible. They're standing at the little flat thing, but though they're standing there, I feel their eyes looking at me. Not only do I feel their eyes looking at me, but I'm getting their thoughts of what the heck is she doing? Who is she? What is this all about? And I just had the Bible on my lap and I was quiet. I didn't read nothing because I'm like, I want to creep you up a bit. I want you to ponder. And that's what he told me, Habakkuk. That was afterwards. So I'm just sitting there with my Bible in my hand. 3 of them did this. 3 of them. When we got there was nobody there. Nobody, you could tell nobody was concerned. But when we pulled up with Pennsylvania tags, and I'm wearing all white, I'm in the grass, and we're dressed like we came out of somebody's slavery days, they probably was like, the heck is this? Because they got the Trump flags, and I didn't care. We did not mind. We were not pressed. We were out there anyway, doing thus saith the Most High. So this is why it is very, very, I feel to me and to others who are being used by the Most High, he sent you to certain places. When you feel that feeling, or when that serpent got his eyes on you, because that's what they are, they're serpents. Stay in the spirit. Sometimes you're going to want to like say something to him and get in that, trust and believe me, it creeps them out more when you stay in the spirit. Because they can't figure you out. Now, the first ones that did it, they stayed in her car and watched. The second one, she already missed us because I was in prayer and the Most High said, I'm going to speak at the 5th hour. So just whatever. So I had already got up from that spot. I'm doing regular things. And when she pulled in, we were already acting like normal people. So whoever that called her that got there, Most High made us make her look like a liar or made her look like silly. Like there's nothing really going on. They're just sitting there being normal. But at that point, I'm not going to hold you. I was like, man, I said, she ain't nothing but a nosy devil. And we already know the last one called you, told you to come on over here and come see the lady in white looking crazy. She heard my mouth. She didn't say nothing. Had a little dog. Which you can tell she was at home and somebody called her. She just came to see. Then she's on the phone. Then she left. Then finally, when I was on the part where it said private property, not too much, but Most High told me take 3 steps forward, like behind that line. I've always been a bold, daring kid, especially for my father. And I stood there and he had me laid back with my hands to the side, just like in the beginning of the movie. Didn't dawn on me till I watched it again today. And he said, take heed. Watch again. Take heed. So in the beginning of the movie, when she laid on her back and her hands to the side, that's when they would so-called have these, he said, I always worry when you wake up if you're going to remember me when you had these spells. Because see, He loved Harriet, but he spiritually didn't understand Harriet. So as I was watching it this time, the Most High was showing me stuff, y'all. Because he know what I'm going through. He know how I'm feeling. He was like, daughter, I want you to sit here and see what Harriet went through. I want you to see the things that wasn't told about Harriet. Things that I want you to read between the lines. That if you can get this now, when you're going through this, you ain't gonna be, you know what I mean? So whenever you look at Harriet's pictures, yo, and you wonder what her face looks like, angry, or she don't, you know what I mean, stare, it's because trauma made our sister become strong through the Most High. He healed her trauma. He kept her. But because she still was a woman, we still want to be loved. We still want a companion. We still desire those things. But I'm telling y'all, like, so this is why that one day I went to the store and got this shirt, Joshua 1:9. Strong, courageous, and fearless. I know we read about Joshua, but I feel that these 3 traits is what kept Harriet. And when I was out there doing what I had to do, not only did I feel the Gentiles looking at me or heathens looking at me crazy, but I felt also that my husband was thinking that, yo, she crazy, like, she going off, like, I don't know her no more. And that hurt. But as I laid down, Zion and Zebby came right next beside me. And I'm not going to be the kind of mother that make my sons be the man. I'm going to let my sons be the sons. I'm going to let them grow up and be young men. And I'm going to be mommy. And the Most High is going to be the father and be my husband. So to any other woman out there, or sisters, young ladies, and you're in this walk and you're going upon new stages in your life, we're all, as a nation, we're getting ready to go for it. You just better get ready, because we are. With this new president that's getting ready to come. Always remember, he commanded us several times in here. Even in verse 25, and Joshua said unto them, fear not, nor be dismayed. Be strong and of good courage, not wicked courage, good courage. For thus shall Ahijah do to all your enemies against whom you fight. Now, Harriet wasn't able to go into battle. She was a spy. She helped them through prophetically, spiritually, when it came to war. Just like in the book of Joshua, just like, Hadassah and Judith. And those were the women I admired. And because I admired those women, I understood those women, because that was the kind of woman my father made me. So you all sisters and brothers of the Most High's army, you know what he gave inside of you. You know how he made you. And so we have to be able to say, all right, we lived our life. We've done all our pleasures or whatever. It's time for us to walk into the calling. It's time for us to set life aside, pleasures, wherever we did the work, the will of the Gentile, but doing the will of the Most High. And this is exciting, family. This doing the Most High's will, it does hurt. Just like in the part of the movie where Harriet when she came to the lady Matt in Pennsylvania, and the woman came in and let her get a bath. She said, "What, girl, you got to get a bath because you smell." Basically, they were showing that Northerners, privileged, Black, uppity side versus those who had to go through a struggle and came from little old Maryland, and basically had to run for her life. But she was just as strong and as steer as those who walked around who had their dresses on. It was inwardly with Harriet. They said Harriet would walk with, she just from a child. She wasn't the kind of person that allowed certain things to go down. She just was formed. She was made the way people up the north dressed themselves to be. But Harriet didn't have the dress. Harriet was that woman. So to women out there who are trying to be something that you weren't made to be, that's why you're not going to be that. Because though the woman who Harriet went to the house to, she said, "Oh, girl, you stink." And Harriet said to her, "Have you ever had the stench of fear?" And she said, "I'm sorry." She was like, "Yeah." So some people that's out there looking at your life and, "Oh, I wouldn't have said it, or I wouldn't do that." You don't know what you would have done in somebody else's shoes. And it's always best for us to humble ourselves rather than put our mouths on somebody else and judge them where they're at. Or not judge, but put our mouths on them where they are. Because this time when I watched it again today, when he told me take heed, I really was able to see the things that history never told us about Harriet. She said, "Yeah, the Most High was watching, but it was my feet that was moving." Running along, being in the woods, hearing animals, not eating, cold, copperheads, all that. But the one thing that wasn't bigger than all those things that was against her was the fear of her being a slave. She'd rather face all those things than still been a slave. And also she said, "I would have told me more things, but some of the people didn't know they were slaves." Think about that, y'all. In other words, she said, "I had wisdom I could have shared with some people, but since they thought they were too good, what was I going to waste my breath for?" So I want to stop right here. And I want to say, spiritually, I am discerning there is an individual female who you have not given up. You have not stopped watching me. And bless your heart to some extent, because there are things you admire. I know. But yet, you're still jealous. Our departure came. I tried to reach out to you and be cordial to you. Our departure came, beloved, due to you stating where the name you want to proclaim, and because I was standing bold on Ohio. I sent you a message today. I'm sure you probably got it. And it was, "Are you still gathering the dead?" You probably feel like, "Oh, I stole your story." My father told me that I would be like unto Harriet. He gave me the calling. He knows my heart. And if that your heart is in that manner, then what you first need to do is repent. Be willing to walk away from anything, not just the outward thing, because you thought that you walked away from everything. But though you leave house and all other stuff, but you still got a fool tied to you. See, even Harriet had to say, "I'm sorry I had to leave you. Farewell, oh farewell." She didn't let anything stop her. She said she didn't want to take her husband with her because she didn't want to lose his freedom. But was he really free? There are some people in our lives that they were only for a time and a season. And if we're not willing to show the Most High that we'll love him above them, not take them from us. And so to Sarah, I am saying to you, you have a heart to do the Most High's will from the time I met you and spoke with you and reasoned with you, but you are in rebellion. And your covetousness is the cloak. The Most High will not use anyone like that. If they are a burden to you, he causes you to peace. I did not mean to offend or hurt any sisters that may have been watching me who are big. If there is any of you sisters who are big or just suffering with any health conditions, that video yesterday was directly towards two individuals who were big in stature, but their ugliness was bigger than that. And that video was directly towards them, trying to say that fasting is not necessary. So to any of my sisters who are struggling, that's not. I'm not a nitpicker. I'm not mean. I'm not a bully. But we got to be honest with ourselves, and there's things about us that we gotta, you know what I mean? We got to deal with. And so if we're struggling with things, with prayer and fasting, we will be delivered. But you got to have the faith. You got to have the faith. You have to say, Father, I know that I'm going to, like with the little boy who gave the fish. What did it say the little boy said? We found 2 pieces of fish here in the bread. Okay. Yeah. The other gospel said the boy. Bottom line, give the Most High everything you got and let him work with that. Give him all of you. Don't come short, and watch him multiply you. Just because one is small doesn't mean they're healthy inside. Just because I'm petite or small doesn't mean I'm any better than you all. My purpose in coming on here is not to hurt anyone. And when any of you guys are hurting, I see your faces. I feel your pain. Sometimes it's like I'm like, why did you give me this? Why do you allow me to be consumed with other people's burdens? And no one wants to help me with mine, because he said, daughter, I did it because I only want to be your help. When we learn to let the Most High be our great I am, he will be. But you cannot fight him. We cannot fight him. And when we get irritated, and when we get weary, and when we get weak, then we must shut up and stand. Hello, Sister Tara Wallace. All praises. It wasn't your face he showed me. One of the sisters who was offended, I think she unsubscribed and then she came back. She's been wrestling. She's also wrestling with something else. And I'm not going to put her on Front Street because she's fragile. But she knows and she feels that I'm talking about her. I love that sister. And I want that sister to get it right. I love all of y'all. I love all of my sisters and my brothers. It was my love for y'all that made me lose things in my life. The one I thought was the love of my life left me. Oh, but he didn't leave me. He was never with me in the beginning. Just like Harriet, when she began to want to go back for her family, she found out he remarried because his lack of faith, and he was not spiritually connected to her. He didn't believe, just like with Jacob. When Joseph was taken from, when he was charged to go by his brother's wickedness, to go into Egypt. It was the will of the Most High for him. Jacob forgot about the dreams. Jacob forgot about the prophecies. Jacob forgot about the promise. And that is why in Genesis 45, Joseph cried. He cried. He was like, this was me, y'all. It was not your fault. Listen, I forgave y'all. I want you to come unto me. It's all good. But they still wasn't able to receive him. And sometimes, no matter how much you have shown love, forgiveness, you try. It's but so much you could do. All the Harriet put herself in risk to go back and go to that man, and he was with another woman. But she ended up getting other people, though. Other souls were spared for that, though. Though she thought she was going for her husband and family, Most High said otherwise. Hey, Sister Maya, how are you? But it's always strong love like a mother elder. Exactly. Strong love. Strong love. You know? So, and Sister Maya, I don't know if you heard me, but earlier I started the video off from the Most High wanted me to tell you was that you can continually learn his voice. You just worrying about the feasting. You just want to learn his voice. Learn that. Once you're in tune with him, you ain't going to have no worries and doubts. He going to lead you in the feast. He going to lead you in your daily round. He going to lead you with your food. He going to lead you with your everything. Because the times we're getting ready to go into, beloveds, we're going to need to know his voice. And we're not going to need to be second guessing. It can cost our lives. One offset could frustrate Most High. But he's so merciful and gracious. Just like GPS have a reroute. When you go out of fear, it's fear, like the Reverend Green told Harriet when her father said, "Go to Reverend Green's church and get the blessing." And she said, "Daddy, he always teaching that obedience stuff." He said, "What did I say?" She said, "All right." She went, and Reverend Green said, after once he tried to convince her, and he realized Harriet was strong, what it would say, strong-willed. And to some people, a strong-willed person, it seems to be rebellious or mouthy. But if things are right, you're going to get that opposite. You're going to actually get a soft, cool tone, chill out person. But that person with a strong will is not able to be that because they're vexed by the things that are off. Harriet couldn't even sleep the same after she seen her sisters be taken. She wasn't the same. And she said within herself, I refuse to go through that. Same with my mother. When she was abused by my father, handcuffed to a bed. And I said, I refuse to ever let a man beat me. And unbeknownst, it made me aggressive. It made me bitter. It made me angry. It made me abusive. Instead of me relying on the Most High, majority of my time, there were fights I was wasting my energy in, and I wasn't fighting fights I should have been. But now I understand where I'm supposed to fight and things I'm supposed to throw in the towel. And when I begin to realize, oh, that's big, that's too big for me. Most High been handling it. He been handling it. And if he's handling it, he don't need me to be overseeing. He's the overseer. And when she went to that church to get the blessing, Reverend Al Green was trying to fight her back. And she was like, listen, I'm going. My mind's made up. And he said, all right, you got about a foxhole's chance and a hair's chance of foxhole. And he gave her the wisdom. It was the Father speaking through him. Because it wasn't really the people. It was the Most High. Like, are you really ready for this? Do you really want this? Because we got to show the Most High. So sometimes opposition is really the Most High wanting us to push against and buck against it. Say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, Father. I'm gonna do it. And guess what? He told her, fear is your worst enemy. Trust in the Most High. It doesn't matter if you fear it's in your job, if it's in yourself and insecurities, if it's in the future, which is silly. How can you fear something you don't know? That's the one thing the devil loves us to do. We can never think about, well, I'm here now, I made it, and look where he brought me through. Now, why would I fear what I can't even see nor can I control? And I wrote that on my refrigerator. And so that's what I want to say to you, sisters and brothers. Just remember that fear is your worst enemy. Trust in the Most High and have faith. We can't even operate in fear with him. If we're going to say, Father, we love you and we want to follow you, hey, I'm saying I want to follow you. Only you can show me how to follow you. And he'll do that. He'll show you. He'll take you. Absolutely, sister. So I just want to play the song one more time by Harriet. Stand up, then I'll depart. There's a dance I want to show you. This is a beautiful dance these people did. I was so touched by this dance.
And start voting for the solution. That's why this November,
please, I don't want to hear this racket. They want to get black voices. Ain't nobody believing in Democrats no more. Please kick rocks. Kick rocks. Oh no, devil. I'm trying to turn my screen off. Y'all probably didn't see it, but I did. Some reminder.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine,
Lady, she wants my computer. Hey, son. That's just what did that part. Her right there, she killed him. Go ahead, sis.
And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation, and I fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a
Zion, please take her out of here.
far across the river.
Lady, you gotta be quiet.
Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend.
Yep.
Might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone. And I just might fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Just as when I'm not stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, can you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, do you hear freedom calling? Calling me to answer, gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a new home. Far across the river, I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go.
This is my part right here. This is the part.
To prepare a place for you.
Talks to me every
I
time.
go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
When she's doing her hands like that, that was the part that when she actually got to Pennsylvania in the movie, she like was so grateful. She had her hands like to the sun when she walked in. When she finally touched the Pennsylvania, she just was like, oh, you know, like it kind of felt like she was touching. You know what I mean? I can't explain it, but as I just saw that part came to me. That's what she was doing. I never really paid that any mind. But the reason why I spoke out to Sarah is because she was a part of a piece to this thing as well. And it's unfortunate that unfortunate agreements caused for us to depart. But there were things also I sensed that, at the end of the day, it's the Most High is the judge, and everything's in his hands. If things are meant for us to reconnect, we will reconnect. If it's not, so be it. But bless that sister because she introduced this to me. She was a part of the puzzle the Most High used to introduce this to me. And also another brother who prophesied and let me know what my ministry was going to be about. How he told me that Most High hasn't even put me on the board yet. And I'm like, what? Hasn't even begun. And had it not been like that encounter with her was necessary to get me what I needed to get at the time. I needed to get it. And I trust that I was a blessing to her as well. And I just don't like to see the enemy bring forth division. I just don't like, things like that. There's a lot of people in my heart that I really would pray that they would come unto the name of Ahia, which is the creator of heaven and earth, the great I am, and leave all the other, basically leave the golden calf alone. That's just what Tetragrammaton is. It is the golden calf. Okay, and because when you read after they did the golden calf, Aaron named it J-E Boom Bow. And that's what that brother Holly said. And it struck me when he said that. He said, Aaron's the one that named that. The Most High never said that was his name. And then also he read, by the name such and such, and they never knew me by. I was not known by. But look how many people go by that name versus those who not only say Ahia, but don't blaspheme. Once you see, okay, Ahia with GOCC, then they're blaspheming like, okay, the pigs is slain. So, family, I just say to you all, please just do the research. Just look up the origins of these deities. I mean, the names, and you won't be surprised. Trust me. So I love you all so very much. I'm getting ready to get off here and enjoy my time with my family. This the first day of the week is literally like I clock into work, basically do house stuff, get things going, and things of such. So remember, Sister Maya, Most High wants you to pull away, learn to hear his voice more, and then it's going to be the completion to everything. You see what I'm saying, sis? So once you pull away, and not saying pull away like be isolated, that's not the answer. He wants you to discipline yourself in learning to hear from him, and then practice hearing from him. And then when you hear his voice, say, Father, did I hear you correctly? Or can you confirm that in your word or verify that, Father? Because you want everything to be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. Okay. The enemy always comes to speak. Like, say you'll hear the word from the Most High. To mine, it will not. You'll be like, huh? Like flesh won't agree with it. That's the first sign. It's the Father. Then the second sign would be that you're going to get verification in the word. It's going to come within. You're going to get a peace about it. Then the enemy comes to try to speak against it. Like, say, well, you don't have to. You sure to get. Like, say the Most High would tell you, I want you to fast till sundown. Dries only. The enemy would be like, you can have some water at least. I mean, you can have some water. If he said dry, he said dry. The Most High is going to speak first. Then the enemy always comes afterwards to be contrary. And if you really don't know, just go in prayer. When you're in prayer, concentrate on nothing. Just get yourself blank. If you have to unplug your Wi-Fi's, please, I encourage that. Unplug your Wi-Fi's and just sit still and rebuke any false voice, any contrary to his word, anything that's contrary to his word. All right. I love you guys so very much. I pray you have a wonderful remaining of the first day of the week. And to the Most High, let's go. Ain't no telling what this week's gonna bring, but we're ready. Always remember, be thou only strong, courageous, and fearless. It's okay to every now and then shed a little tear, get through it, pick yourself back up, sing a song, find something to make you laugh, or whatever have you may. Thanks, blessed sister. You're welcome, beloved Sister Maya. You're welcome. All right. It is well with you. You be blessed. All right. You too, Sister Tara and Brother Seb, and all those in the chat who didn't type in. Blessings to you. If you love the Most High, if you're a wicked watcher, you don't get nothing but curses. All right. Curse be unto you, you wicked watchers. All right. Love you all, family. Peace and blessings and joyful endearment.